Today, boys and girls, I'm going to read the day 2 of The War with Grandpa. Okay, we're going to read day 2, excuse me, of The War with Grandpa, and we are going to first meet up in the table of contents. So if you can find where your table of contents is, go to your table of contents of The War with Grandpa, and we are going to write day 2. First, let's write the date. The date is 11, 11, no, it's 12. 12, let me check my watch, 12/2, 12/2. Can you believe it's December already? Yeah, that is, time is flying by. Time is flying by. Okay, so December 12th. So we're going to write it 12/2/20. 12/2/20. And the day is going to be day 2. Day 2, excuse me. And then the title of what we're doing today is we're going to, what we've talked about before is we're going to talk about the character. So I want you to write character list. And I want you to write page 2 on that. We're on day 2 character list. It's going to look a little bit like this. Day 2 character list. I have my date, I have the day, what we're doing, and then the page number. Day 2 character list. Go ahead and pause the video here so you can copy this down if you're watching this video. Day 2 character list. Pause the video here. Okay, so now hopefully you were able to pause that and copy that down if you're watching the rewatch, the video. So boys and girls, when we read Poppy, we had something at the very, very beginning called a character list. And so the character list is a great way for us to get to know the story, get to know the characters, and just make sure that we have covered all of the characters here. And especially now our new book, we're getting to know the new characters from the book, The War with Grandpa. You know that because you already watched the blurb, we already did the blurb, you've watched the blurb video, that we already know of some characters. We know of some characters just by reading the blurb. Just by reading the blurb, we already know that some of the characters are Peter, Grandpa, Peter's family, and Peter's friends. We don't know the names of Peter's family. We don't know the names of Peter's friends. We don't even know the name of Grandpa. So, but we know that there's going to be there's a boy named Peter, there's a grandpa, there's the family, and there's his friends. Just from reading the blurb. Just from reading the blurb. So, today, I am going to teach you that good readers use details in the story to understand important characters. Okay, I'm going to teach you that good readers understand the details, understand details. We use details to understand some of the important characters. And so let me give you a hint. Because we already talked about this, this is a realistic fiction book. Poppy was not realistic fiction. Poppy was, yes, Poppy was fiction, but Poppy was a fantasy. In a book that has the genre of fantasy, those books, they have animals that talk, they have animals that act like humans, they have animals that conversate, there's animals that fight owls, there's animals that, there's animals they act like humans. Animals act like humans. In the genre, everyone say genre. Makes me feel very fancy when I say that word. Can I have a little bit of that genre? Genre. So when we say genre, we are talking about the style of the book that we're going to read. Okay. Well, the style that we're reading, Poppy was in the genre of fiction. But if I dig a little deeper, I know because there was talking animals, and there was animals that acted like humans. I mean, come on, he wore a thimble hat. He wore a hat. Have you ever seen, like at your house, when you see a mouse? Hopefully you don't have mice at your house. But if you ever seen a mouse in your house, was he wearing a thimble hat? Was that mouse wearing a thimble hat, or was that mouse? Does that mouse have like a little sash with a porcupine quill? I don't think so. I don't think so. See, that's not realistic. That's a fantasy. When animals talk in stories, we are probably reading the genre of fantasy. So, here in this next book, you are not going to find animals that talk. You're not going to find animals that have conversations or that act like humans. I promise you that if there's a dog or a cat or a gecko or I don't know, a turtle, I promise you that in a book that is realistic fiction, the animal is going to act like an animal, okay? Because it's realistic. When we talk about realistic fiction, we are talking about something that could happen in real life, something that is real. Yes, it's still fiction, so this story is made up. It's a fiction story, so this is a made-up story, but it's going to have realistic things that could happen even to you, okay? Even to you. I don't think you're going to get eaten by a porcupine, or sorry, I don't think you're going to get eaten by an evil owl when you are about to ask your future wife to marry you. I don't think that's going to happen to you. Okay, not in a book like this. So this is a realistic fiction book, and the cool thing about realistic fiction, that the most important character in a realistic fiction book is going to be a human, right? And so in this situation, our most important character is going to be, do you think it's going to be Grandpa Jack? Or do you think it's going to be Peter? Grandpa or Peter? Who do you think? Give me show me the number one if you think it's going to be Peter. Show me the number two if you think it's going to be Grandpa. I mean, the book is called The War with Grandpa, but I don't know. What do you think? You think the most important character is going to be Peter or Grandpa? What is this, Felix? That's 1 + 2. That's 3. What is 1? Peter is option 1. Grandpa is option 2. Peter is option 1. So let's see here. I'm gonna send out a quick poll. So who is the most important? Who is going to be the most important character in this story? Is it going to be Peter, or is it going to be Grandpa? Peter or Grandpa? Let me send this out real quick. Peter or Grandpa? What do you think? What do you think? I'm gonna save this poll, and here we go. I'm gonna send it out. Tell me when you got it. Go ahead. Who do you think, who is going to be the most important character in this story? Pick option 1 or option 2. Option 1 or option 2. So far, we have 7 of you that say Peter and 2 of you that say Grandpa. Let's see. Who do you think is going to win? Oh, Grandpa's catching up. Let's see. How many of us? There's 17 of us, so I'll just wait till there is one more. We're missing one person. Oh, there it is, 16 out of 16. Okay, let me share the poll with you. Share results. Can you see who is going to be the most important character in this story? It looks like everyone thinks Peter is going to be the most important character. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Let's see who it's going to be. Okay, let's see who it's going to be. Okay. Now, Mr. Campos, can you stop blabbing and can we get to work? Yes, 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 we can. Thank you for asking. All right, so please turn to page 1. Page 1 of The War with Grandpa. Page 1 of The War with Grandpa. Okay, here we go. Page 1. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, look at that beautiful family. This is right on page 1. So the author is wanting us to get to know the family right away. So let's start reading. It looks like there's a mom, a dad. That looks like an old man, so that might be a grandpa. That looks like a boy, so that might be Peter, and a little sister, or I don't know. Yeah, that probably a little sister. She looks like a girl, so, and she does have a belt, a buckle that is a heart. So yeah, I'm assuming this is going to be his little sister. Okay, let's start reading. We're reading on page 1. The chapter is called Peter Stokes' True and Real Story. Peter Stokes' True and Real Story. Okay, here we go. This is the true and real story of what happened when Grandpa came to live with us and took my room, and how I went to war with him and him with me, and what happened after that. I am typing it out on paper without lines on my dad's typewriter because Mrs. Klein, she's my 5th grade English teacher, said that we should write a story about something important that happened to us, to tell it's true and real and put in words that people said if we can remember to put quote marks around them and everything. Oh, I can't breathe. Sorry. Okay, so boys and girls, this is, when the book said that this is a true and real story, I was thinking that this story is going to be realistic because he just said it's going to be true and real, okay? And like I said, we talked about earlier, realistic fiction is something that is going to happen. Something that is true, that it could happen in real life even to you. Okay, let's keep reading. Oh, that was, okay, let's keep reading. We're on not the bottom of page 1, but like one paragraph up. She also said to keep the sentences short. Looking back on how I began, I can see I'm doing terrible already. The first 2 sentences took up almost half the page. My little sister, Jennifer, just came in and asked me what I'm doing, and I told her. She told me to put Pac-Man in my story and maybe Wonder Woman. She watches reruns of every afternoon on Channel 6. No, I said. Why not? Because it is a story about Grandpa and me, silly. Not some made-up thing like on TV. Could it have a horse in it? She asked. Jennifer loves horses a lot. She cuts pictures of them out of magazines and tacks them up on the wall in her room. No horses. A magic fairy? No. I bet it's going to be a stupid story, she said. Jennifer was wearing a Pac-Man cap, her Superman t-shirt, a jeans belt that said jeans on it, and sneakers that said left and right on the toes. She looked like a walking billboard. It's going to be a great story, I said. How does it begin? I don't know. That's what I was trying to remember when you came marching in. I think it should begin with me, Jenny said, because I found out Grandpa was coming to live here before you even knew it. Good idea, I said. Here's a picture for those of you that don't have the book yet. Here's the picture of Jenny and Peter, Jennifer and Peter talking. You can see that Peter has crumpled up some papers here. Because boys and girls, I could not read the first two sentences of this paragraph because there was no periods. When you don't have a period, when do you breathe? So in order for you to be able to stay alive when you read a story, I don't know if you knew this, but you have to be able to breathe. And periods are the things that help you breathe. They're the ones, because whenever we get to a period, it's kind of like a stop sign on the road. Your parents don't just run over the stop sign. Your parents stop at the stop sign, take a breath, look both ways, and go. Okay? That's kind of what the period does in stories. You need periods in order so the reader, me, Mr. Campos, doesn't die, because I need to breathe. Okay? So make sure that if you're writing and you're writing your stories, kind of like Peter did not do, make sure that you have periods, okay? Periods are important. You want to keep your dear teacher alive. All right, let's keep reading. So the last thing we read was, she said, good idea. Page 4. And put in the story that I am very beautiful with long blonde hair and lovely blue eyes. I just did. Now you'll have a good story, she said. Okay. All right, boys and girls. So we're going to stop right here. This first chapter introduces somebody. Anybody want to tell me who did we get to know in this first chapter? Who, Lila? Who did we get to know in this first chapter?
The little sister.
The little sister. What's her name?
Jenny?
Jenny, yeah, Jennifer. Okay, so this is what I want you to do. I want you to go to your page where you're going to put your character list. It's going to be after the blurb. So here's my blurb. There's my blurb. Now, I'm sorry. I should have held that better. There's my blurb. And so my character list is going to be on the very next page. Not the very next page. I'm going to turn the page and then I'm going to do it right there. Okay. So how do you set up your page? You're just going to write on the top, character list. Okay. And of course, you're going to write the page number, page 2. And on the other corner, you're going to write the date. 12/2/20, okay? 12/2/20. It doesn't have to be fancy. You can underline where it says character list. That way it looks a little bit more, a little bit more organized. So page 2, character list, and then the dates. Very simple, okay? So we just learned about a character, and her name is Jenny, okay? Jenny, we're gonna write her full name. Her full name is Jennifer. So I'm gonna write I'm gonna start on the left side. I'm gonna write Jennifer. Jennifer. So what I remember about Jennifer is that she, of course, is Peter's little sister. She is Peter's little sister. So let's go. Peter's little. Are you writing this down? Peter's little sister. Make sure you're writing this down. Even if you don't have a book, right? You should be writing this down, right? Thank you. I see that Amaris is writing it down. Good. If your eyes are on the screen, that means you're not writing it down because you're not looking down and I don't see your pencil moving. So make sure you are writing it down, please. Okay. Let me show you what it looks like. Character list. Jennifer, and then we're going to write Peter's little sister. Peter's little sister. Peter's little sister. Okay. All right. What else did we learn about Peter's little sister? Anybody? What do we know about her? What did we learn, Maribel? What did we learn about her? What does she like?
Batman, Wonder Woman.
There you go. Perfect. So she likes, and usually she sees those where? She watches them on TV, right? So she likes watching TV, kind of like maybe some of you. Okay, so I'm going to write that right here. Watches TV. Here we go. She likes TV. Likes TV. Okay. We also learned that she likes horses. She told Peter you should add in a ferry. So she likes ferries. She likes ferries, and well, we'll just keep it at that for now. So here we go. Peter's little sister, Jennifer, she likes TV, she likes horses, and she likes ferries because she asked Peter to put in a ferry in his story. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video here if you need to copy this down and catch up. Pause the video here. Okay, let's move on. Let's keep reading. Let's keep reading. Let's see what else we read about here. We are reading chapter 2 already. Wow, that was quick. That was just the first chapter. Okay. The beginning. Chapter 2, the beginning. I like to read stories that have lots of chapters that are short because it makes the book go faster and you always can find your place. So you can bet that my story is going to have a bunch of teeny tiny chapters. It really began when Jennifer came into my room with that look on her face that usually means she knows something that I don't. That's one thing Jennifer likes best in life. She likes a secret. Not that she is good at keeping secrets. She is no good at all in that department. In fact, I can usually get her to tell me anything I want because I'm her big brother and she's only a little kid. So we just found something else out about Jennifer, boys and girls. I'm going to write down in the list of Jennifer, I'm going to write, she likes secrets. So write that down. I'm just adding that in real quick. At the bottom, she likes secrets. She likes secrets. Write that down real quick. She likes secrets. Okay? Write that down. She likes secrets. Okay, let's keep going. She is the little sister. She's not very good at keeping a secret. All right, here we go. Bottom of page 5. I know something you don't, Jennifer said. She headed across my room to the broken rocking chair. Don't sit on my rocker, I replied. She looked at me and made one of her faces, where her eyes rolled back in her head, and she pouts, why not? Boys and girls, show me the face that you make when you roll your eyes. Show me that face. There you go. Good job. Good job. All right. Yeah, so she rolled her eyes at him. Because you will make the arm pop out of the back like you always do, because you rock too hard. I will not, she said, which was a lie. She always breaks my rocker. The rocker used to be in the living room until it broke. My mom was going to throw it in the trash, but I rescued it and brought it up to my room. One of these days, my dad says he will glue the arm really solid so it won't pop out all the time. Jennifer was standing right near my rocker. Don't even touch it, I said before she could. Don't you want to know what I know? Jennifer asked me. I already know everything you know, and a whole lot more. I said. I picked up the book on my bed like I didn't want to talk anymore and pretended to begin reading. It's about Grandpa. I kept on reading. Grandpa Jack. I ignored her. From Florida. That made me laugh. We have only one Grandpa Jack, and he lives in Fort Lauderdale in Florida. I remember him. It's not funny, Peter Stokes, Jennifer said. Grandpa Jack is too lonely down in Florida since Grandma died. So he sold their house and he's coming to live with us right here in this very house. I heard Mom and Dad talking about it on the telephone. We're supposed to cheer him up, you and me, because his leg is hurting. His leg is hurting him a lot and all, and he's very sad about Grandma. So, boys and girls, put your bookmarks in. We just learned about a new character that we're going to add in our story. What is this new character's name? What is this new character's name? Somebody help me. Somebody help me. What is this new character's name? Mason.
Grandpa.
Grandpa. What's Grandpa's name?
Uncle Jack.
Grandpa.
Grandpa Jack.
Yes, Grandpa Jack. Good job. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to skip a line after Jennifer. Bloop, skip a line, and we are going to write the next character, and his name is Grandpa Jack. We just learned about Grandpa Jack. Go ahead and this is how you spell it, just in case you don't know how to spell Grandpa Jack. Grandpa Jack. Okay, so we just found out, of course, that Grandpa Jack is Peter's grandpa. So we're going to write that down. Peter's grandpa. And we also learned a few things about Grandpa Jack. He is, according to Jennifer, he is lonely since his wife, his wife, which is Peter's grandma, since she died. So apparently Grandpa Jack's wife died. Peter's grandma died. So we're going to write lonely since Grandma died. Okay. Write that down. Lonely since Grandma died. Lonely since Grandma died. So we just learned that about Grandpa Jack. And we also learned that he had an accident. His leg, Jennifer said, his leg is hurting. His leg is hurting. So I want you to write that down. His leg is hurting. His leg is hurting. There you go. His leg is hurting. And Jennifer said that they have to cheer him up. Why do they have to cheer him up? Somebody tell me, why do they have to cheer him up? What do you remember? Amaris, why do they have to cheer him up?
Because he remembers how the grandma died, and he wants them to cheer them up, so he forgets about the grandma and has fun.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much. He is lonely and he is sad about Grandma dying. So we're going to write here. I know we already wrote lonely. So the next thing that we're going to write is that he is sad. Write this down. Write this down. He is sad about Grandma. He is sad about Grandma. Write this down, boys and girls. He is sad about Grandma. He is sad about Grandma. Okay? So if you need to pause the video, you can pause it here. So you can write this down. Pause the video here so you can write this down. Okay. So far we have Grandpa Jack is Peter's grandpa. He is lonely since grandma died. He his leg hurts, his leg is hurting, and he is sad about grandma. Okay. There should be plenty of time. If you did not get a chance to write all of that down, please make sure that you watch this video when I post it. Okay, let's keep reading. Let's keep reading. Grandpa's coming to live here? I said. We're in the middle of page 7, boys and girls. Middle of page 7. Yup, she nodded. I'm glad, I said. And I was. I like Grandpa a lot. But I don't get to see him much because he lives so far away. For once you found out a good secret, Jenny, I said. That's not the secret, she said, putting her hand on her hip and posing like a statue or something. Where do you think his room will be? I don't know, upstairs on the 3rd floor, probably in the guest room. She smiled and put her tongue between her teeth so it showed. Oh no, she said. That's where you're going. Me? Yup. She smiled at me because I was groaning out loud. Oh, what? You mean Grandpa is getting my room? I can't tell you, Jennifer said. That's the secret. All right. Oh, wow. Jennifer seems to be like, she's enjoying this secret way too much. She is enjoying this secret way too much. Okay, boys and girls, we just found out about something very important. But you know what? Let's keep reading. Chapter 3. Chapter 3. A room without gloom. A room without gloom. Let me tell you about my room. I love it. I was born here. I was born in a hospital, really. But I have lived in this room all of my life. 10 years so far. My crib used to be in the corner near the window that looks out onto the driveway. Now my bed is on the long way. I have these bookshelves right behind my headboard, and my high-density lamp is there too. My desk is in the corner where my crib used to be, and I can look out the window while I do my homework. I have these yellow toy cabinets with all of my stuff in them. On top of the cabinets are shoe boxes where I have all of my baseball cards. There's a thick carpet on the floor that used to tickle my feet when I was little, and I have a poster up on the wall over my dresser of Hank Aaron hitting the 715th home run. This room is mine. Nobody else in my family ever lived here. Nobody. I know how my room is in the morning when the sun peeps over the roof of the Murphy house behind ours and comes through my Venetian blinds. I know the sound when it rains hard and pings against the windows and the drain pipe outside. I can get up out of my bed in the middle of the night and walk around my room without even looking because I know where every single thing is. Nothing about my room is scary. When floorboards creak at night, I know it's floorboards and not some monster. When the wind rubs the maple tree against the side of the porch outside, I'm not afraid of some crook. I'm not afraid some crook is sneaking into our house. When you live in a room your whole life, that room is yours. It doesn't belong to Jennifer or my mom or my dad. And it certainly doesn't belong to Grandpa Jack. Who never even lived one day in this house. This room is mine. I love it. I belong in it. And I don't ever want to live anywhere else. Put your bookmarks in. Put your bookmarks in, boys and girls. If you don't have one, tear off a little piece of paper, a little corner, or that way you can save your spot. Okay, put your bookmarks in. So we just learned a little bit about this other character. And what's this other character's name? Somebody tell me, what is this character's name? The one that we just read about. What's his name, Jason? What's his name, Jason? Say it again. Oh, you didn't? I thought you were going like this. What's his name? Felix?
It's Peter.
Peter. Peter. Yes. So I want you to skip a line, and we're going to write Peter. Peter is his name. Peter is his name. And we found out that Peter, boys and girls, he is 10 years old. Peter is 10 years old. So write that down. 10 years old. What else did we learn about Peter? What did we learn about Peter? Can somebody tell me? Lila, what did we learn about Peter?
That he loves his room and he never wants to leave it.
Exactly, good. He loves his room. Write that down. He loves his room. What else? What else did we learn about Peter? So far we have that Peter, he is 10 years old and he loves his room. What else did we find out about him? Remember, there was something that he really loved. He had them in his shoe boxes, and he had a poster of it on his wall. What is it, Helen? He also loves
his bookshelves.
His bookshelves, yes. On top of his bookshelves, there's shoe boxes, and inside of the shoe boxes were what, Helen? Do you remember?
There were. I forgot.
It's okay. Who remembers what were inside of the shoe boxes? What were inside of the shoe boxes, Gabriel?
Cards.
Yes, cards. What kind of cards?
What kind of cards do you remember?
Baseball.
Yes, good job. Yes, good job. Baseball cards. Yes. Peter loves baseball. Okay, so let's write that down. He loves. So far we have down that he's 10 years old. He loves his room and he loves baseball. Okay. We've also learned a little bit about him. What did he sound like when he was talking about his room? Was he like, yeah, I like my room. It's a nice room. I like it a lot. I hope Grandpa doesn't take it. It's my room. Or what was he like? Or was he like, what do you think? Rogelio, what was Peter like when he was describing his room?
Mad.
Mad, okay. Give me some more emotions. What other things? He was mad. What else? What do you think? So he showed emotion, right? He showed that he cares. Thank you, thank you. He was mad. What else? What else do you think, Esmeralda?
He was upset that his grandpa was taking his room.
Yeah, he was. So he was mad. He was upset. Could raise your hand if you think he was angry. Did he sound a little angry to you? Was he like, how could you? So we're going to write down, we learned a little bit about Peter, and Peter is a little bit of an emotional boy. He shows his emotion. And when we call, when somebody shows their emotion, we say that they're sentimental. Sentimental. Peter, he really showed his emotions about his room. So far we have Peter's 10 years old. He loves his room. He loves baseball, and he is sentimental. He is sentimental about some of the things that he's talking about. That means that he is showing emotion. He's not just like a robot and just like, oh, okay, yeah, my room. Okay, whatever. Who cares? He cares. He's showing emotion. So, all right, there you have it, boys and girls. We are done for the day with the War with Grandpa. So very great job. I'm really proud of the way that you all participated, and I asked you questions, and you did a great job. Thank you so much for doing that and for working so hard.